Hello, Julie.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you doing?
We're
Pretty good.
fine.
Yes, I just wanted, you guys pretty much answered the question that I had with the
Oh, I'm
last
sorry.
caller.
I stepped on your punchline. Go on.
And I just wanted to say, just recently you said you won't believe it until you have proof, like you said about the fire-breathing dragon.
Right.
Sure.
Well, 2 years ago I gave my life to Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be a partier, a pothead, you name it. I did it.
Okay.
I didn't even care much less about my kids. 2 years ago, this lady came up to my door and asked me if I knew how to have a relationship with Jesus Christ to accept God as my personal Savior. And I did that. And my life has been totally changed.
So you decided that there was an all-powerful being who didn't like you being a partier. And after making that decision, you stopped being a partier.
No.
No?
Those decisions were my decisions.
That's what he just said.
And what I was putting myself through is because I was putting myself through it, not because he was putting me through it.
That's not what he said. He said you decided that there was a supreme being who did not like the decisions you were making, so you decided to change them. You stopped partying because you believed that God was unhappy with you for partying.
Well, that's common sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're not going to leave your kids alone and stuff like that, and God's not going to like that.
Right, which is why I'm not a hardcore partier who goes out and leaves my kids alone. Without having accepted Jesus Christ.
I don't mean to be immediately dismissive. I've heard a lot of claims like this. You got to remember, I was a Christian for 25 years, and when I say that, I wasn't just the Easter Sunday, Christmas morning Christian. I was there all the time and almost went to seminary. I was going to be a preacher, or had at least considered that as an option for a period of time. I've been in church and sang the songs and been to revivals and seen people abandon drug use and come to Jesus. And, that's what Jesus did for me. I'm sorry. I appreciate that it's real to you and real to those people. I don't accept that. I used to believe it. I don't anymore. And what I think, that is not proof that there is a God or that Jesus has done anything. And the reason is that there are plenty of people, regardless of their religious belief, including atheism, who have said, you know what, I've been partying too much. I've been an alcoholic. I've been a drug addict. I'm going to get some help. I'm going to change my life. And they make progress without the need of a God. And for me personally, I think that not taking credit for the changes that you make in your own life and instead ascribing it to some, supernatural being and their influence, I'm a little disheartened by that.
You say that you've been a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
You not believe that one day God's going to come back and take his people as a rapture?
No.
And leave whatever it is behind that needs to be left behind? You don't believe that?
No, I no longer believe in any God, and I do not believe that Jesus, if he existed, which I think he probably did, was the son of a God or supernatural or performed miracles or any of that.
Well, one day when you guys stand before God, then you'll be able to say that. I appreciate your letting me talk with you guys. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks. I hear that all the time.
Yeah, it's a threat, basically.
Yeah, someday when you stand before God, he's going to show you you're wrong. Well, you know what? On that day, I'll do what Robert Ingersoll is going to do and say, I was wrong. Sorry, I don't know why, but I was wrong. Yeah, maybe it could have been a little more clear.
And I mean, that's sort of the abbreviated form of Pascal's wager, which sounds good at first until you think, well, someday all you Christians could be standing before the Shiva, right? And Shiva will wave his 8 arms around or whatever Shiva has, and ask, why didn't you believe in me? What's all this Son of God crap? I mean, yeah, it may be comforting for you right now.
I wish all that was true. I wish there were,
You mean Shiva?
Any of it. Because right now, as it stands, we're in the position where, guess what? When you die, you're not going to find out what the truth is. You're going to be dead. That's it.
Yeah, you never get to say, I told you so.
And you can't come back
as... That is the big downside to atheism.
You can't come back as a ghost and tell people, because, well, I don't believe in that either.
Right.
So, yeah, it's an unfortunate position. But you know what? I'm going to live my life. I'm going to live it in a way that I see as right. I'm going to do right by my fellow man. I'm going to try and explain to people why I believe things that are different from what you may believe. argue as reasonably and logically as possible. And at the end of my life, I'm going to look back on it, hopefully, if I have the opportunity, and appreciate it. And if I die and that's the end, then I will have enjoyed a life. And if I die and something happens after that, then I'll deal with it then. And at least I'll be able to say I was intellectually honest about what I believe, and I was consistent about the standards of evidence that I required to determine a belief. And I didn't play favorites just because mommy and daddy or the guy up in the pulpit happened to say this is true and I should believe them.
Well said.
When it comes to bullshit, big time, major league bullshit, you have to stand in awe of the all-time champion of false promises and exaggerated claims, religion. No contest. No contest.